You're not imagining it, but you're also not seeing the whole picture yet. Men who've lived long enough learn this lesson the hard way. Confusion isn't always weakness, it's often incomplete information. And when it involves younger women, that confusion feels different because the signals don't appear the way you were taught they should. You notice the looks, the pauses, the way conversations last just a little longer than necessary. And then the doubt slips in. She's just being nice. I'm thinking too much into this. There's no way she'd actually be interested. That internal pause, that's not insecurity. That's restraint mixed with uncertainty. Most men react. Some men pull back. But a smaller group, men who notice patterns instead of chasing reassurance, stop and observe. That's who this is for. I'm Stephanie, and today we're not here to inflate fantasies or sell confidence tricks. We're here to break down something subtle, something most people miss because they're too busy trying to feel desired instead of understanding why desire shows up the way it does. Here's the uncomfortable truth most men never hear explained clearly. When a younger woman is genuinely interested in an older man, she rarely says it. She tests alignment, not attraction, and those tests don't look like flirting at first. They look like curiosity, consistency, presence. Before we go any further, pause for a moment. If this already sounds familiar, comment below what you think so far, and keep watching till the end for insights most men never hear. But before we go any further, you need to let go of one false belief, because it quietly destroys everything. Interest is not loud, especially not here. Younger women who are drawn to older men aren't chasing excitement. They already have that everywhere. What they're scanning for is something rare: steadiness, perspective, emotional containment, and that changes the entire signal system. Which brings us to the first place most men misread everything: communication, not the words, the pattern. In an age of short attention spans and throwaway conversations, attention itself becomes valuable. So when a younger woman consistently reaches out, texts first, checks in without a reason, circles back after conversations most people would forget, that's not accidental. But here's the part most men get wrong. It's not about frequency, it's about intentional continuity. She doesn't just message, she maintains a line. She asks questions that don't need asking. She references things you said weeks ago. She shares small, ordinary moments, not because they're important, but because you are part of her mental landscape. If you're following this, don't rush. Stay with the video and let me know in the comments if you've noticed this before. And no, this doesn't mean she's already emotionally invested. It means she's evaluating something quietly. Men who mistake this for casual friendliness either overstep or dismiss it entirely. Both are reactions, neither is clarity. Because when a younger woman values the maturity and depth of conversation she experiences with you, something she doesn't consistently find among her peers, she's not chasing age, she's sampling presence. And presence has weight. But communication alone may mislead you if you don't know what to watch for next, because consistency without engagement is empty, and engagement without memory is performance. Which leads to the second layer. Most men feel but don't articulate. The way she listens, not politely, not socially, selectively. We'll go there next, because once you understand how attention shifts when interest deepens, you stop guessing. There's a difference between being heard and being listened to. Most people nod. They wait for their turn to speak. They forget what you said the moment the conversation ends. But when a younger woman is genuinely interested in an older man, her listening changes in a way that's almost unsettling if you know how to recognize it. Men who've learned to stay quiet instead of filling space notice this first. She doesn't rush you. She doesn't interrupt to redirect the topic back to herself. She lets your stories breathe. And here's the key detail most men miss. She builds on what you say. She asks follow-up questions that don't advance the conversation socially, but emotionally. She connects your past experiences to present situations. She remembers details that didn't seem important when you shared them, not facts. Meaning, this isn't politeness, it's investment. Still controlled, still measured, but intentional. You see, younger people live in fast cycles, new inputs, new distractions, constant stimulation. When someone slows down for you, it's not accidental. It means something inside her is registering you as different. And that difference creates tension, because now she's not just interacting, she's evaluating. Does he notice nuance? Does he stay grounded when attention deepens? Does he rush to interpret, or does he observe? Men who react emotionally to this moment break the spell without realizing it. Men who stay centered let something else unfold, because listening doesn't stay verbal for long. At some point, words become secondary. That's when eye contact changes. Not the quick glance, not the polite look and away. I'm talking about the moments where silence stretches and neither of you rushes to fill it. Lingering eye contact isn't about attraction first, it's about permission. She's checking whether it's safe to stay there, whether you flinch, whether you try to claim the moment or simply hold it.
Most men misunderstand this and feel pressure to perform, but men who understand power recognize this truth. Eye contact is a quiet negotiation of presence. If she holds your gaze longer than necessary, especially during pauses, that's not random distraction. That's curiosity layered with emotional testing. She's observing how you handle being seen. And the world doesn't fade because it's romantic. It fades because attention has tightened. But here's the part that makes this complicated. Eye contact without alignment goes nowhere, and alignment shows up in the body before it ever shows up in words. That's where signals get subtle and where most men doubt themselves. We'll move there next, because body language doesn't lie, but it does whisper, and only men who slow down enough notice it. Before interest becomes visible, it becomes physical. Not in the way people usually think, not intimacy, not escalation, alignment. Men who pay attention to patterns instead of reassurance notice this shift early, because the body speaks long before the mouth feels safe enough to. When a younger woman leans in while you speak, it's not about hearing you better, it's about reducing distance, about narrowing space without announcing intention. Space is psychological before it's physical. She angles her body toward you, even when there are other people present. Her feet point in your direction. Her posture subtly shifts to mirror yours. Mirroring isn't attraction by itself, it's synchronization. And synchronization only happens when someone feels comfortable enough to align without guarding themselves. Here's where most men either overinterpret or miss it completely. Small self-touch behaviors, adjusting her hair, touching her face, smoothing clothing, aren't signals meant for you. They're signs of internal regulation, her body responding to awareness of you. These movements happen when someone feels seen but not threatened, curious but not yet committed. It's the nervous system saying something here matters, and comfort is the foundation most people ignore. If she's relaxed around you, laughing easily, staying present, not checking her phone, that matters more than any overt flirtation. Comfort precedes desire in age gap dynamics, because younger women drawn to older men aren't chasing chaos, they're orienting towards stability, which leads to a subtle but telling behavior shift. She starts finding reasons to be near you, not dramatic plans, not forced encounters, casual invitations, coffee, a walk, an errand that doesn't need company but somehow includes you. Men who mistake this for coincidence stay passive. Men who mistake it for certainty rush ahead. But men who understand dynamics recognize it for what it is, a low-risk bid for shared time. She's not testing attraction here, she's testing availability. Will you show up without pushing? Will you lead without pressure? Will you treat her interest as normal, not something to seize or dismiss? This is where identity matters. Men who feel the need to prove themselves fumble here. Men who are settled in who they are simply allow proximity to develop. And something else begins to surface once proximity feels safe. Admiration, not flattery, not compliments meant to charm. Recognition. She starts noticing your perspective, your calm, the way you frame problems differently. She may comment on your experience, your steadiness, the way you see situations without urgency. And if you listen closely, you'll hear what she's really saying. You feel grounded. Younger women who are drawn to older men often don't articulate this directly. They feel it first, and feeling creates gravity. But admiration alone doesn't deepen connection. Curiosity does. And the moment she turns her attention toward your past, your story, that's when interest begins to move from observation to attachment. That's where we go next, because when someone wants to understand where you came from, they're already imagining where you might fit in their future. There's a moment when interest stops being abstract and becomes personal. It happens quietly. She starts asking about your past, not in a casual, surface-level way, not the kind of questions people ask just to keep a conversation moving. These are different. They slow things down. She wants to know who you were before you became who you are now, your younger days, your risks, your mistakes, the lessons that shaped your edges. And here's the psychological shift most men don't recognize when it happens. Curiosity about your past is rarely about nostalgia. It's about mapping character. She's trying to understand the man beneath the years. Men who feel embarrassed by time downplay these stories. Men who posture exaggerate them. But men who carry quiet power tell them calmly, without apology, without performance. That's what holds her attention. Because when a younger woman listens to your past, she's doing something deeper than learning facts.
She's assessing emotional continuity. Did hardship shape you or harden you? Did experience make you bitter or calm? Did life break you or teach you containment? These answers aren't spoken outright, they're felt. And when that curiosity is paired with something else, something lighter, almost deceptive, you'll feel the tone change. Playfulness. Teasing enters the room. She might joke about the age difference, make a soft comment, playfully challenge you. This isn't dismissal, it's comfort. Teasing is one of the clearest signs that distance has collapsed psychologically. She's signaling, I'm relaxed enough to touch the edge without fear. People don't tease those they feel awkward around. They tease those they feel safe with. And safety is what allows something more intimate to form. Then there's the digital layer, often ignored by men who didn't grow up in it. Social media. If she engages with your posts, comments consistently, sends you things she thinks you'll enjoy, articles, videos, jokes, that's not passive consumption, that's inclusion. She's integrating you into her mental ecosystem. For a younger woman, this is subtle but meaningful. It's her way of saying, you exist in my day even when we're not together. And when that integration deepens, something important happens. She starts crossing worlds, introducing you to her friends, asking about your circle, letting her life and yours overlap. This step matters more than most men realize, because age gap dynamics come with social pressure. When she invites you into her circle or steps into yours, she's not just expressing interest, she's showing confidence. Confidence in her choice, confidence in how she's perceived, confidence in you. But there's another shift that quietly locks this progression, one that reveals trust more clearly than attraction ever could. She starts asking for your advice, and that's where things become real. Because advice seeking isn't about answers, it's about respect, and respect changes the entire dynamic. We'll unpack that next, because once a younger woman trusts your judgment, everything moves differently from there. When she starts asking for your advice, the dynamic shifts quietly, permanently. This is where many men misunderstand what's actually happening. She's not looking for solutions, she's testing judgment. Career questions, personal dilemmas, situations where she already has options but still comes to you. That choice matters because advice seeking is vulnerability without spectacle. It's her saying, I trust how you see the world. Men who rush to fix everything miss the point. Men who lecture lose the moment.
Men who listen first and speak with restraint create something far more powerful. Younger women drawn to older men aren't impressed by certainty. They're drawn to containment, how you hold complexity, how you don't rush to dominate the moment, how your presence steadies instead of overwhelms. And once that trust forms, another door opens. She starts sharing personal stories, not just achievements or highlights, but doubts, fears, moments of uncertainty she doesn't broadcast. This isn't accidental. Vulnerability doesn't move toward excitement, it moves toward safety. When she opens up emotionally, she's placing you in a specific category, one that most people never enter, a place where she can lower defenses. Men who mistake this for dependency misjudge here. Men who fear it pull away. But men who understand human behavior recognize what's actually happening. She's deepening the bond by revealing herself in layers, and layers matter more than intensity. At the same time, something else starts to surface: shared ground. She lights up over common interests, not because they're impressive, because they reduce distance. Old music, an unexpected hobby, a shared curiosity. Her enthusiasm isn't about the activity, it's about alignment. It's her way of saying, we overlap more than we're supposed to. And overlap challenges assumptions. Assumptions about age, about compatibility, about what's normal. This is often where men feel the internal shift. Less guessing, less doubt, more clarity. But clarity doesn't mean certainty yet, because physical signals begin to appear, and they're easy to misread if you don't understand their function. Subtle touches, a hand on the arm during laughter, a brief contact that doesn't linger but doesn't feel accidental either. These moments aren't about escalation, they're about permission. She's checking whether closeness feels natural, whether you respond calmly or emotionally. Men who rush break the rhythm. Men who freeze create distance. Men who stay grounded allow proximity to grow without pressure. And that restraint, that's attractive. But there's one more layer where everything becomes unmistakable, where interest stops hiding behind subtlety. It comes in the form of questions, not casual ones, probing ones. And when those appear, you're no longer guessing. We'll go there next, because once she starts asking about you in that way, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore.
There's a moment when subtlety gives way to purpose. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It arrives disguised as curiosity. She starts asking questions that don't sit on the surface. Your relationship status, how you view commitment, what you think about age gap relationships. Not abstractly, but personally. These aren't idle questions. They're positioned carefully. Men who've lived long enough recognize this pattern in hindsight, but rarely in real time, because the questions feel casual, almost conversational. But psychologically, they serve a very specific function. She's locating herself in your world. She wants to know whether there's space, whether there's openness, whether pursuing something deeper would meet resistance or calm acceptance. And here's the part that shifts perspective for many men. These questions are not about reassurance. They're about risk assessment. A younger woman doesn't probe unless something already matters. If she didn't care, she wouldn't bother to know. And when she senses that space might exist, something else begins to happen, something even quieter. She starts dropping hints. Not demands, not invitations spelled out, mentions. A cafe she's been wanting to try, a movie she hasn't seen yet, an event she casually brings up then lets hang naturally. Men who are overly cautious miss these entirely. Men who are eager overplay them. But men who notice patterns understand this isn't passivity, it's calibration. She's allowing you the room to lead without forcing you to. This is important because leadership here isn't about boldness, it's about timing. She's watching how you respond when opportunity presents itself gently, whether you recognize it, whether you move without urgency, whether you respect the pace. And if you do, if you stay grounded, something deeper begins to emerge. Vulnerability expands. She shares challenges, self-doubt, moments she doesn't show others. This isn't emotional dumping, it's selective exposure.
She's choosing you as a place to land emotionally, and that choice is never random, especially in age gap dynamics where trust must outweigh social noise, where safety matters more than chemistry, where presence matters more than charm. Then, eventually, she addresses what's been there all along, the age difference. Not defensively, not jokingly, but thoughtfully. When a younger woman brings this up seriously, asking how you see it, what you think, what it could mean, she's not seeking permission, she's seeking alignment. This is the moment many men fear, but it's also the moment clarity replaces doubt, because interest that survives this conversation isn't accidental, it's conscious. And once you understand that, something settles inside you. You stop scanning for signs. You stop questioning your instincts. You begin to move differently, not because you're chasing, but because you finally see the pattern clearly. And when you see it clearly, you don't need certainty. You have quiet power. One last shift remains, the one that changes how you carry yourself after this understanding locks in. That's where we'll end, because once that shift happens, you don't go back. Here's the shift most men never name, but feel the moment it happens. You stop trying to figure her out and start trusting how you move. That's the real change. Because once you understand these patterns, communication that continues, listening that remembers, curiosity that maps your character, proximity that feels natural, questions that test alignment, you no longer chase clarity. Clarity comes to you. Men who reach this point don't become louder, they become calmer. They don't rush to interpret every signal. They let behavior reveal itself over time. And this is where quiet power steps in. You realize something important. Interest doesn't require convincing, it requires recognition. If she's interested, she'll keep showing up in ways that reduce distance emotionally, mentally, socially. If she's unsure, she'll hover. If she's not interested, the pattern breaks. No drama, no confusion, just information. And once you see it this way, you stop internalizing uncertainty as self-doubt. You weren't wrong before, you were just operating without the full picture. Men who understand this don't posture, they don't overextend. They don't need reassurance. They stay present, they stay observant. They allow interest to unfold or fade without losing their center. And that's the identity shift. You move from guessing to reading, from hesitation to composure, from needing validation to recognizing alignment. Once that clicks, you don't walk into these dynamics hoping to be chosen. You walk in already grounded and let reality reveal itself. That's when confusion disappears. That's when your presence speaks before you do. That's when you move differently without effort, without noise, without apology. And once you see this, you don't unsee it. If this makes sense to you, comment below with your thoughts or experiences. Watch the video till the very end, because this insight is one few men ever recognize. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video so others can learn how to read these patterns clearly.